appearance of my co-host Marc Pruitt from the Winston Salem Journal and Greensboro News and Record. Prep beat writer, handles all things prep football throughout the season. He's with me throughout the season on Wednesdays as we preview games. Still a couple weeks out before we get to those games. We got some big ones. We got some heavy hitters on the show today. Head coach Daryl Brown from the Grimsley Whirlies, defending state champion Grimsley Whirlies, and can't get my finger. There it is, right there. Number one quarterback in the country, Faizon Brandon, in the house. We're going to kick it off with them. Got a little bit surprised right after that, but let's go ahead and get into it. It's the Desmond Johnson Show. Let's go ahead and roll that intro.
Live with Desmond Johnson, son, the live is one. Represent NC to the fullest.
Yeah, welcome to the Carolinas. Everywhere you go, the sky is Carolina blue, the finest. Live action, feedback, the city needs that. I've been number one, no cap. Here's the recap. Adrenaline is my addiction. I'm about to relapse. Step on the turf if you want and get your weed whacked. I'm going harder than a martyr on the starter end. It's the heart of man, that's a rap like a cardigan. I'm breaking records, it's 4th and inches, I count the seconds. The over-under's my roar of thunder, my secret weapon. Yeah, the game is to be told. I don't break, I break modes. Follow me on Tobacco Road.
Live with Desmond Johnson, son, the live is one. Represent NC to the fullest.
And it is my favorite time of the year. It is August, which means prep high school football is beginning in the state of North Carolina. And of course, Tobacco Road Sports Radio is your home for some of the biggest games in the state, some of the biggest teams in the state. And we are the home for the Grimsley Sports Network for another year. Got head coach Daryl Brown in the house, two-time state champion Daryl Brown in the house, and quarterback Faizon Brandon, senior quarterback, Tennessee commit Faizon Brandon in the house. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing well. Thanks, Des.
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good, man. I got a chance to get out to some practices this week. I need to come out and check you guys out. I think you guys are going in the mornings right now, but I need to come swing by and see you guys. I went and saw East Forsyth yesterday, just kind of checking out, the big boys, the guys we deal with, and just seeing how everything's going. And got Marc Pruitt in the house, his first appearance for the season for 2025. Marc, how are you doing, man? I know you've been up and at it, and we've been crossing paths the past couple of weeks at random spots, kids committing to colleges and things of that sort.
Yeah, it's go time. I've been out a lot of the Winston area schools seeing practice, and I got rained out of going to see Oak Grove this morning, but I hopefully get out there tomorrow to go see them. Making our watch lists for all the players to watch in the Winston-Salem area. So
there's a lot, not Winston and Greensboro. There's a lot of high-end kids here in the Triad. So we're happy to be able to be the largest provider of live sports broadcasts in the Triad here at Tobacco Road Sports Radio. I want to get to this question because, Coach, of course, by now everybody knows the reclassification of the classes back to 8. Now, you guys in football, it was subclasses for like 20 years, like 2001 to like 2021, somewhere around COVID is when they switched it back to 4. And I know a lot of coaches did not like it. They didn't like the 4 classes. They felt like it was kind of a disadvantage to some of the smaller schools getting stuck in some of those things. Now it's all back to 8 classes again across all sports instead of just football. And they've got you guys in 7A. Do you guys even talk about last year? Because it's not the same class. So do you even look at it like you're defending state champs? Or how do you guys go about this year? Is it just a brand new year? You've pushed that off to the side? Or are you looking at it like we're defending our title?
No, every year for us is a new year. New guys. Even though we got some returning familiar faces, we treat every season as a new season. And I've talked a little bit to our seniors about the opportunity to kind of leave their mark in a special way. Had a state championship team 5 years ago, and then Faizon and some of these guys that are back with us won a state championship last year. But the opportunity to do it again is something special. We don't talk about trying to defend anything. We're not defending the state championship. You can't take it away from us last year. We got that, and it's ours. We're going after something new, new opportunity, new goals that we've got initially starting out the season. And then, obviously when we get to playoff time, a lot of the schools that are in 7A we're very familiar with. We've seen them before, the Weddingtons, East Forsyth, all those kind of guys. So I feel like the path that we've taken the last couple of years, a lot of those teams are in our classification. So I think when we get to playoff time, we'll be very familiar with a lot of our foes.
Marc.
Coach, you got a new look in the league this year. I think Dudley coming in is the biggest change to that, and I know that's a game a lot of us around here, all of media types, have been screaming to see the last several years. How does that change y'all's focus going into conference play with the realignment, kind of the new teams and the teams that dropped out, like Northern Guilford, for example? But what's the conference looking like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, our league again, very, very familiar with a lot of the teams. I mean, we lost Northern and Northwest. Northwest went 8A and they're over in the Forsyth League with East and West and all those guys. And then Northern dropped down to 6A and they moved in that league with Eastern Guilford and Ashboro and Southern Guilford and those people. So we picked up Dudley, picked up Smith. Then after that, everybody's teams that we've seen before in our conference: Page, Western Guilford, Southwest Guilford, Ragsdale. So we'll be again very familiar with a lot of those opponents. There is some new coaches in the league. Getting Dudley in our league, in our conference, is great for our school and Greensboro in this area, and we get to host them at our place the last game of the season, which that should be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to that. Got a lot of respect for Coach Davis and how he's ran his program over there. So, conference-wise, just a couple of different changes, but we're looking forward to our league when we get to that point. But we got a lot of work to do before we get there.
So we got head coach Daryl Brown from the Grimsley Whirlies and starting quarterback Faizon Brandon, number one ranked quarterback in the country, here with us on the Desmond Johnson Show. Faizon, correct me if I'm wrong. So we're entering senior season. You've been the full-time starter. This will be year 3 of you being the full-time starter, correct? Because I think freshman you kind of shared duties with the quarterback that was ahead of you there. But since sophomore year, you've been the starter. You have all of 2 losses as a starter. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought because we've done the game. So I'm like, I don't remember a whole lot of.
Now I'm gonna fix that. As a starter, he's got 1 loss.
1 loss.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so 1 loss. Okay.
Come on, Faizon.
I thought he said 1. My phone had.
So it's 1. So you've got 1 loss because I know you guys went undefeated last year, and I was thinking about it. You guys played a gauntlet, in terms of non-conference, and then what you had to do in the playoffs, especially the last 3 games that you had to get through. Top-notch teams. I felt like the top 4 teams in the state were the last 4 that were left in the Western region. Going into that, you guys, East Forsyth, Huff, and Weddington, that was the defending champ last year. Do you going into this year, Faizon? This is going to be the first year where you haven't had a college commitment weighing over you as you're going into the season. Talk about your mindset heading into this year, knowing that you've already committed, where you're going when the year's over with. I'd imagine you're probably leaving early after the season's done. All that's gone, so you don't have that on your shoulders anymore. Talk about your mindset going to this, being the senior and the true de facto leader of this team going into 2025.
I would say just really trying to take the time to really gel with all my guys and not having to worry about all the college stuff. Just like last year, that's why I committed so early, just to be able to put that away and be able to focus on, the team and winning a state championship and just being the best we can be. But now I would just say doing the same thing and just trying to stay humble, keep the main thing, keep where I'm at in high school right now, and, the main thing, and just go out there and try to win another one with all the seniors and all the guys that are on the team right now.
Faizon, what I'm interested in knowing is, do you know the words to Rocky Top, and have you sung the song yet in public?
JP Mundy will be happy to teach you if
I don't know all the words, and I haven't had to sing it in public for anybody yet. So.
All right.
It's coming.
Yeah, I want to make sure. Yeah, I would prepare yourself because you're gonna get that a lot, I imagine, at some point. How do you guys, both of you can enter this? I'm curious, and you just mentioned a little bit of it, Faizon, kind of with committing early last year. How does that help with any of the outside distractions for you guys preparing for this year? Because that's kind of all behind you now.
I would say not having to talk to all the college coaches and have all of them calling all the time. Say is the biggest thing for me, and just being able to focus on just high school football. That's I would say the biggest thing of just committing. I taught it to Tennessee coaches I would say about every week, but you know, it's not like a lot of coaches just calling every day, and I can't focus on what I'm really wanting to do.
And I'll say this, Mark. I mean, and to both of y'all have asked him a couple questions there. Like Faizon has been a phenomenal leader, this off season and this summer. He leads. He's the first one at workouts every day. The other morning we start practice at 8, and the guys come in to lift at 7, and I'm here at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I go down to the weight room at 6:30, and he's walking in, already ready to go. So he's been a great leader for us. I mean, encouraging guys on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively. And we talk a lot to our seniors about just kind of being where their feet are. And a guy like Faizon has a lot of great things ahead of him, but right now he gets an opportunity to play with the boys he grew up with, and he's known for his whole life, his best friends, and he gets one more fall to go out and compete with those guys and kind of do something special with that group. And I talked to him a lot about football would never be like that again for him. Just kind of playing with guys you grew up with and that you've known your whole life, and just kind of make the most of it. And so I think the fact that the him leading and kind of being the face of our program in a lot of ways, but he always deflects the attention to the other guys. He's been a great leader so far for us.
The one thing I noticed with them splitting up these classes, it kind of created a scramble where these schools had to go and find schools to play. Like where before you kind of knew who you were playing. Well, you knew who you were playing for your conference games, and then you had like 3 non-conference games probably that you had to fill those first 3 weeks of the season. When I started looking through some of these schedules this year, the non-conference portion of some of these schedules with some of the schools that we deal with is just flat out ridiculous. Is there a particular school you guys are looking forward to matching up against in your non-conference part of this? Take Dudley out of it because we talked about them earlier, and we know the city's going to be on fire when you guys finally get a chance to meet up later on in the fall. But this first 4 or 5 weeks where it's non-conference games basically before you get into your conference, you guys have a heavy slate that you guys are going to be playing against. Any one of those non-conference teams that you're kind of looking forward to kind of matching up against and just kind of measuring stick-wise, just kind of see where you are early in the season?
I love them all. I mean, the fact that we get to open up in Bank of America or West Charlotte. I mean, what a great opening game for our program, our kids. City of Greensboro. The fact that we get to go down and play in Charlotte against the premier team down there, defending state champion, and then to turn around the next week and we go on the road to West Forsyth, and then come back home the next week for our first home opener against East Forsyth. And we talk to our guys like, our guys have like that's who we should be playing. That's who we want to play, and we're going to get better playing those 3 schools. We scrimmage Mooresville Friday, and the following Friday we scrimmage Reagan in our jamboree. So that's 5 straight weeks against 5 top tier programs right off the bat. And that's what we want, to be able to kind of test ourselves, put ourselves in position that we're going to find out where we're weak at and what we need to get better at. And we'll find that out right away Friday at Mooresville. So I love all them games. They all make us better and prepare us for conference play and the ultimate goal of winning a state championship.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you just saying it out loud. West Charlotte, West Forsyth, East Forsyth, first 3 weeks of the season. We're going to know
we got
early.
yeah, and then in the middle of our conference schedule, we played Verona High School out of Richmond, Virginia, who lost in their state championship game last year. And they're, from what I've been told, they're kind of the favorite going into the season up there in Virginia to win the state championship there. I've seen a little bit on a film of them. They're super athletic, and we saw them at 7-on-7 down at UNC. We didn't compete against them, but they had a lot of really good athletes, and that's going to be another great test for us right in the middle of the year.
Yeah, I saw, because I know there was an issue where you guys were looking for a game like late into the summer. You were a game short and needed a game, and then that arena popped up. And I haven't had a chance to go look at them, but you tell me that kind of syncs up with the way you guys schedule. You kind of go after the best of the best, which I love. Again, last year I was looking at your schedule. I'm like, man, you guys ran through, like, there were teams on the schedule that you guys ran through and played exceptionally well. It was one of the better high school football seasons I've seen in the area, and probably since I was a freshman at East Forsyth, watching the '92 team in terms of the teams you played and got through to get to the very end. to finish undefeated. Mark, anything you got to add for Coach Brown or Faizon?
I look forward to seeing you guys both. I'll be at the game when you come here to West Forsyth. Don't break my daughter's heart. She cheers for West. So I'll enjoy talking to you guys then. And I think I'm going to be at the East Forsyth game as well. And Faizon, I'm going to get you and JB to sing Rocky Top at the game afterwards.
Yeah, that's a must. We got to get that. We'll pull a little commercial together, something for it. But no, for sure. Of course, I'm going to be around the program, of course, throughout the entire year. I should announce, because we were talking about this when I was over at Natty Greens last week. This is Whirly Nation, the coaches show that we do for you guys on Monday nights. It is not closed off to the public. It might be confusing because we're up on the second floor of Natty Greens, and Natty Greens is closed on the second floor on Monday nights. And I was talking to Chris Lester, the owner over there. We're like, maybe we should put up a sign or something like at the stairs so people know they can come upstairs to the second floor. Come check us out. It's live every Monday, 7:30 p.m. Coach Brown, he brings in players. Coaches come through. The Booster Club comes through. There's a pool table up there, plenty of seating, food, everything you need. That's live every Monday at 7:30 p.m. at Natty Greens downtown in Greensboro during the season. And we just talked about it off the air. The first episode will be August the 18th, which will be Monday, August 18th. It'll be the week of the first game of the season as Grimsley gets prepared to take on West Charlotte on the 22nd. That game is a 8 p.m. kickoff, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Brown. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so it'll be stunning a little bit on our end. So we'll have East Forsyth Glen, the K-Bags Cup week 1. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff on WTOB, and then on WCOG, Grimsley West Charlotte will kick off 8 o'clock. Chase Williams back in the house, the voice of the Whirlies. He, if I'm not mistaken, they're doing a pregame show, so they will have a pregame at 7:30 that'll run right before that game. But appreciate both you guys coming on. Definitely, everybody stay healthy. Get ready. I'm super excited about this season again with the way the reclassifications happen. There's a lot of interesting matchups week 1 and week 2 and week 3 with teams kind of having to find teams to play, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you guys want to play each other? And it's like all these teams all these dream matchups we want to see. And you mentioned East Forsyth Grimsley. Coach, I've been salivating for that for 4 years. Like I've been rooting both you guys. Come on, let's get there. And we finally get it back again. We haven't had it since 2020, I believe, is the last time you guys saw each other. So
we've had a lot of good games with them back in 19 and 20. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, close games, tight games, and packed games too. So that game will probably be one of the biggest ones in the state by the time we get to it. So definitely good luck to you guys. I'll definitely be in touch with both of you guys soon over the next couple of weeks as we get ready to rock and roll. Grimsley West Charlotte down at Bank of America Stadium, part of the Keep Pounding Kickoff Classic, 8 p.m. kickoff on Friday, August 22nd. You can hear it here on Tobacco Road Sports Radio. Appreciate you guys coming through.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And there they go. That's Faizon Brandon and head coach Daryl Brown from the Grimsley Whirlies. Mark, I had to follow them up with a guy we're quite familiar with, and that's head coach Todd Willert from the East Forsyth Fighting Eagles and his star wide receiver Jaire Richburg, who's on with us here now. Fellas, I just saw you guys yesterday. Jai didn't get a chance to say what's up when I was out in the field. You guys were putting in work, but I got a chance to come out and finally see a practice. Coach Willert, I don't know what you guys are feeding the offensive linemen out there, but I feel like you're bigger this year than you were last year. And last year, we were like, how did they get so big? They're super huge this year. Talk to me about the offensive line you guys have built. Oh, can we not hear him? Coach, I don't think we can hear you. Ja, can we hear you?
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, you're there. Okay. Coach, we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us. Go out and come back in. The mic probably did something. But Mark, let's start off with Jaire.
Jai, it's good to see you, sir.
Nice to
This
see
is
you,
summer
too.
for you. I know you committed, big commitment, and then Peach Jam with Team CP3. How did you balance all this stuff this summer with, I guess this is your last season of AAU basketball at a high level, and then also your big commitment announcement earlier this summer, and then between all the workouts and 7-on-7s, how much of a time commitment was that for you, and trying to figure out how to balance all that stuff out?
I've been doing it all my life, so I don't think it was really too much, but obviously the commitment was a big thing. So getting that out the way first before the season was big to me, and then my last year playing basketball with CP3, that was pretty fun experience with those guys. We lost in the Elite Eight, but we did a lot together as a team, and so that was a fun ride. And just getting ready for this upcoming season. I already have my college that I'm committed to, more focused.
That was actually gonna be my question, because we just had Grimsley head coach Daryl Brown and Faizon Brandon on, as a senior quarterback who's heading to Tennessee, and I asked him the same thing. Like, what's your mindset, Jaire? You don't have to worry about a college commitment hanging over your head going into the season like you did last year. You probably got that in the back of your mind as you're doing everything. You don't have to worry about that now. You've already made your commitment. You're going to NC State. How do you feel going into your senior year now? This is your third year at East Forsyth. And you are one of the leaders of this team, and you've seen this team at the highest of highs. How do you feel going into this season as one of the leaders that some of the younger guys that are coming up through JV or transfers or wherever it may be are looking at you for guidance and looking for you for leadership? How does it feel knowing that you can do all that and not have the college commitment stuff hanging over your head?
I feel great. I've definitely stepped into that leader role that Coach Willert and all the other coaches wanted me to step into. I've been trying to get all my other teammates. We have like a committee that we're on, the leadership. Everybody just take part and do their part. Practices, trying to lead and be more vocal to my teammates, my other receivers. We got a lot of young guys, so try to be an example for them. And week one, just keep that leadership role. That whole week of practices, keep that leadership role up into the season.
How's it been going so far? I know you're breaking in a new quarterback. I imagine that's JD Fulp. So your running mate, Mr. Baker, is no longer there with you. How's the chemistry been developing between you and JD out there so far?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Me and JD, we all played little league together, and he was my quarterback, and I was a receiver. So I think we done had that chemistry. We just kept building on it. He threw me a touchdown actually last year against Parkland, so that I think built his confidence up. And trying to regain that confidence as the starting quarterback, because obviously that's big shoes to fill. I think every practice he's been getting better, and our chemistry has been getting better. We keep honing on the things that Coach Horton or Willert want us to do, and we stay after practice sometimes to get some extra work in. So I think that helps.
I heard that story. I've heard it kind of in the background, but I kind of got the full gist of it when I was over at East practice yesterday. I kind of knew it, but I didn't know it. Apparently there's 8, 9, 10 kids apparently on this East Forsyth roster that there was a Kernersville Raider, I guess, Pop Warner team you guys were on back in 2018. It's making me feel old. So I'm like 2018. That's like, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But y'all were like 9, 10 years old running around out there. And you guys won like the state championship here, got to Florida or something. A lot of the kids that are on this East team played together and have played together since then. And I didn't realize that until I was really over there yesterday talking to everybody. Coach Willert's having some technical difficulties. We're trying to get him in right now. He's check on him real quick. He's wandering around. He's trying to get situated. So we'll get him on in just a bit. But yeah, I saw that there. So talk to us a little bit about that, because some of the kids are on here. Like you said, like JD Fulp, I didn't realize you guys had played together, before. So it's not that big of a leap for him to step into the role that Bryce left behind.
Right. I started with them in 2017, I believe. It was called Mighty Might. And we had Dom, Shaboy, Tristan McQueen, JD Fulp, Justice Lewis, Marley Williams. Like, it was a lot of us. And so, like, all our parents, they still talk to this day. Like, they all dreamed of us going to the same high school and playing with each other. So this last year, it'll be something special for real. We done had chemistry since 2017.
I love it. And there's been some teams in the area that same kind of like chemistry kind of popped up, where it's like these kids have played together for a while, and then they get a chance to play, in the high school level, and it shows immediately. The chemistry is there, and it kind of makes sense as I'm watching these teams. Like the camaraderie seems a lot tighter when I was watching yesterday. There's sometimes you can have teams where position groups kind of branch off to themselves and, you know, they hang out and click up and that kind of thing. I don't catch that vibe with this year's team and the roster at East this year. It feels like everybody kind of knows everybody and everybody's friends with everybody. And those are the years where you guys do something special. Coach, we're going to check it again. Can you hear us?
I think
Coach?
so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there he is. Got him in the house. So, Coach, we're talking with Jaire about everything, and you've been at the highest of highs and the lowest of lows these for Forsyth. It's been the highest of highs for a while now. I've expressed my frustration to your coaching staff about you know, I joke with you all the time. I'm the one that talks the most trash for East Forsyth online. I tell the coaches, don't do it. I'll handle it for you. I'll go and I'll talk all the trash for everybody. Y'all just back me up when you get on the field. And this preseason, I don't know what it is, but it feels like East is being overlooked. Like, it's strange for me to look at it. I'm like, oh wow, so this top 10 poll came out. East ain't on it anywhere. Like, really? Like, this kind of thing. And it's multiple publications that are doing this. I know you guys have noticed this. My question is, do you care? Like, does it matter to you that they're kind of overlooking you guys? How does it feel to be the hunters again as opposed to the hunted, which you've been a top 5 team preseason going into really since after COVID, like 2021. Like, you've kind of been a top 5 preseason team going into the season every year until this year. And I don't see a whole lot of difference other than Bryce being gone, which we all know your program just kind of, you don't rebuild, you reload. So I know you're hearing it. I know you've seen it. Does it matter to you guys that you guys are being overlooked in terms of preseason hype or whatever?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know the last time we've been picked to win our conference. You know, the last few years we've been picked to finish second, third, fourth. We're used to it. It don't bother us too much. You know, it's just something you go on and move people. Hopefully some people will sleep on us, and we're anxious to get on the field and show people a product that we always put out there.
I think from what I see, it looks like Reagan and West are getting like those picks for the conference, and I'm just like, it's like, all right, fine. You know, that's where you want to go.
It's been Mount Tabor, it's been West, it's been all. So it is what it is. We don't get a lot of respect, so it's okay. That we're on the east side of the county. We kind of understand it, so you know we know how we're treated, and it's good. It puts a little chip on our shoulder, and we're excited. It's just like I can't sit in my office anymore and get internet connection. So you know, of course, I'm struggling right now.
That's part of the budget. Right.
Yeah, we got caught the plaster about that one. See what's going on in there. Go ahead, Mark.
Coach, last time I guess we talked a couple weeks ago, you were really fired up about your defense this year. So talk about those guys. I guess Dom, one of the key catalysts back in the secondary. Got some good returners on the defensive line. How fired up are you about that unit this year?
I'm excited. You know, I heard you guys earlier question. Our old line is really good too. Going back to Desmond at the beginning, a bunch of big guys. You know, you have JB and Stevenson back. We got Kaysen. We got Elijah Vandergrift back. So we got a bunch of our guys back. Defensively, our D line looks really good. The biggest thing is Elijah Edwards. You know, he was coming off of that Achilles. Then we got him back in the playoffs, and just what he's been doing has been outstanding. And then in the secondary, we have Dominique Chaboy, who's just doing great. He's not going to play in the first couple scrimmages. He broke his hand playing summer basketball. So we're going to hold him out of the next 2 scrimmages. He'll be ready for week 1. But we're excited defense. I really feel like our defense is good.
And I asked Josh a minute ago too, and I don't know if you heard it or not, but I was just asking him about how he and the rest of the receivers are kind of developing chemistry with JD now, who's coming in. I guess he's coming in as the starter to succeed Bryce. So what's your observations on how that has been working out?
I mean, those guys have been playing forever. You know, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised with JD. I think it was 2015, Desmond, where everybody was worried about our quarterback, Christian Smith, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And we were overtime away from going to the state championship that year when Mallard Creek beat us in overtime. And everybody had it wasn't Christian, my fault. Christian was his older brother. He was the running back. It was Noah Smith. But so we've been here. We've seen this before. But the people we got around him, we got Jaire, we got another guy, Christian Petta, our running backs, Cannon Rottweiler, our O-line's huge. I know our offense is hungry. I'm excited for what they're going to show, and I think we'll see something in that first scrimmage that will surprise a lot of people.
I did notice watching and talking to some of the coaches yesterday when I was out in Kernersville watching practice, the makeup of the team. I love it when East is set up the way they were in 2015, 2018, 2019, where you guys you've got a stud at wide receiver and you got one in Jaire, but you've got like a stable of running backs. Like you've got 3-4 running backs running behind like a massive offensive line. And like me and Rod will see the stat lines like after games or whatever, after we've called, and we'll sit there and look through them like, we ran for 350 yards today. Like it don't even feel like it. Like when we're calling the game until the game is over and we're going through the stats, like those kind of games where we're just chewing up 20-yard, 30-yard runs like on people. You just kind of see the other team just kind of slump their shoulders like after the third, fourth quarter, just like they can't stop it after a certain time. Those are the ones that I like, because those are the ones where when nothing's working, you know you can run it down somebody's throat and like you can literally kind of dictate the game off of that and do everything else off of that. And I feel like the makeup of this year's team, it's going to be in the trenches. Like you said, Coach, the offensive line, the defensive line are going to dictate how far East goes this year. And in particular, that offensive line, I don't know. I said it last year. I don't think I had seen a bigger offensive line at East since 92. This line is bigger than that line, if I'm not mistaken. And you guys had 2 or 3 kids that weren't even playing. They were like backups last year. They were huge. They were just kind of waiting their turn. I assume they're now in the lineup and doing their thing. I'll ask the same question I asked Coach Brown. I know you guys have a friendly rivalry. You guys are friends. You talk off the field and that kind of thing. You haven't seen each other. You haven't crossed paths since 2020. And even then, in my head, I'm like, well, 2020 was the COVID year. That was the spring season. That was the last time we saw him. Is there a game with the way with reclassification and all the non-conference games that are going to be coming up here? You're going to be playing some teams you normally don't play non-conference wise, but there's some pretty intriguing matchups. Is there a game that you guys are kind of looking forward to in non-conference to kind of be a measuring stick for you at that point of the season in your non-conference slate?
I'm just anxious for Hickory right now. That's what I'm looking forward to, the scrimmage. And once the non-conference get, I'm just ready for Glenn, because that's our first game. You know, we'll get to the other guys. We play a lot of great teams this year. We're playing some new teams that we haven't played before, so I'm excited about that. But we're focused on Hickory right now, and then focused on Glenn, our season opener.
Yeah, right. Start right off the bat with the K-Vegas Cup, 7:00 Friday, August the 22nd. Of course, we'll have that here on the East Forsyth Sports Network and TobaccoRoadSportsRadio.com. Myself, Rod Funderburk, on the call for that. Glenn coming over to play you guys. No longer in the same conference, but we knew we were going to see each other. So they're week 1. And then a Northern Guilford, you got to go out to Summerfield to face a Northern Guilford team that was 10-0 going into their last game of the regular season last year versus Grimsley. And then, of course, you got Grimsley week 3. You got a slate there. The 3 of your first 4 games are on the road. And against tough spots, at Grimsley, at Northern Guilford, at Ragsdale. So, and then Mooresville comes in on the 19th before you start your slate against West Forsyth. So it's not easy. And like I was mentioning it to Coach Brown's, like it feels like everybody's non-conference schedule, when they had to redo these divisions, it opened up these opportunities for you guys to play teams you normally wouldn't play in the non-conference. And I think a lot of the coaches are probably happy because you'll have a better sense of what your team is going into conference play because of the gamut you're going to run in non-conference. But I'm looking forward to it. I always love new matchups for us to call. Mark, you got anything before we get these guys out of here?
I think we've touched on everything with the new conference and realignment, new teams in the league, and the CPC is going to have a little different look. But I think everybody's fired up for 2025.
I can't wait. And our first episode of The Nest, which is the longest running high school coaches show that we have in the Triad and with us at Tobacco Road, is at J. Pepper's again this year in Kernersville. Coach, if I'm not mistaken, we settled on that Tuesday before the first Friday night game. So it'll be August the 19th. Get there early if you want to come, because the East Forsyth show gets packed pretty quick. If you want a good seat, we do know that there will be some sort of, we haven't really announced it, but I guess we can do it here. There will be an Eagle special. So students, if you want to come in and watch the show, if you are a student at East Forsyth, there will be a special price dish for you each Tuesday at J. Pepper's, like a burger one week, a sandwich another week, that kind of thing. So they'll have that there for you guys on Tuesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. while we're doing the show. Rod Funderburg's the host. This is year, what year? 7? I think it's year 7, because we started doing this after the first state championship, didn't we?
Year 7.
Yeah, because I think we started 2019 at East Coast Wings, and then so this is year 7. So longest running show on the Triad. We always have a fun time on Tuesday nights doing the Nest.
Maybe we can get Mark to come out to a show and see.
I mean, it's in his wheelhouse. I don't know why he hasn't shown up yet. He goes to the Western all the time.
I will be there at least once this year. I promise you that.
I will tell you, Mark, because you have been to the West shows. The East show is a completely different experience than any of the other shows that we do. Like the shout out to the booster club and the fans and the parents and the kids from the team. They come out and support whoever it is that's on the show that week, their friend or buddy or whatever. The assistant coaches are all there. It's a family atmosphere. It really is. And it's really cool to have in the community. I know J. Peppers appreciates having it too. So definitely come on out. We'll get you a J. Pepper burger or something. And
to the family at least one time this year. So.
Yeah, come on in. Come on out to K Vegas. Come out and have a good time with us. But yeah, we're gonna get everybody out of here. Everybody get back from your lunch break.
Right.
We will not be on Saturday. We'll start our Saturday shows next Saturday. The triumphant return of Rod Funderburg. He'll be in the house with us on Saturday mornings. We'll be recapping high school football games from the night before, and then we'll also be previewing college football matchups for ACC Big 4, North Carolina A&T, and our NFL stuff as well on Saturday mornings. That's 11 a.m. on WWBG 1470. Again, East Forsyth starting off against Glenn, 7 o'clock kickoff at East Forsyth, Friday, August the 22nd. You can hear that game live here on Tobacco Road Sports Radio and the East Forsyth Sports Network. For Marc Pruitt, Coach Todd Willert, Jaire Richburg, the Grimsley folks from before, you've been watching the Desmond Johnson Show. We will see you guys next week.